was great. I mean, he was great. I think, you know, like I said, I think him having the opportunity to see some of those situations against the Clippers and just maybe some opportunities to do some of that. You know, I think when you lose a player like Kobe, who's, you know, his first game kind of out, right? There's a little bit of an adjustment period where those two guys have been playing alongside of each other. So I think that's not so much that he needs to facilitate. I mean, he needs to get us organized, but I think the biggest thing is him staying aggressive. And then if he's aggressive, I think the game will tell him what to do next. And it was good to see him get downhill the way he did.
Billy, with his career high 34 points, he's really emerging this season as a scorer. What do you see as his ceiling and his potential as a scorer?
I still think there's a lot of room. I give him credit. I mean, he I think we talked about this. He worked really, really hard this summer. He was going twice a day. You know, because he's from Chicago, he used our facility all the time. He'd come in the morning and he'd come back in the afternoon. He really worked on a lot of different things. I do think there's even much more room for improvement for him. I think he had to solve some things for himself, just, you know, talking to him a little bit about the way he was being guarded, and I think watching the film at that and having some different things that he needed to do, becoming a more consistent catch and shoot guy, and being a threat. You know, it's really hard to play to your strengths, which for him is out in transition in the open floor, attacking the paint. If you're not a threat ever, you know, to shoot, you know, and I think with the way teams were playing him in pick and roll last year, wasn't consistent enough and at times reluctant to shoot some of those shots. And I think he's worked on that. I think the one thing he can get better at is scoring even off the dribble in different areas of the floor. But I do think there's more room for improvement, and he'll get better from this year as well. You know, the one thing I admire about him is when things are in front of him, he really tries to work to get better at them.
And then Alex looked like he walked off the court with about a minute and a half left. Do you have any update on him?
I think he's fine, at least from what he had said to me when I talked. I didn't hear anything at all, so I don't know. I can find out.
What was Vucevic upset about?
I don't want to say what he was called, according to him, but that's what kind of set him off.
Oh, was it foul?
Okay, next question.
What? So his explanation was it was initiated.
There was something that was said that I think really upset him.
Exchange of verbiage.
Yes.
Not so much physical.
I don't think so. No, I think it was when something was said. Yes.
Billy, did you need a game like this? It's only the second time that you all have won by at least 20. We've talked a lot about how all games seem to come down to the wire. You don't need a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could have closed a little bit better. They knocked down a couple threes when the lead was up, and you know, I thought we had an opportunity. We had a couple bad possessions. Even with the threes they made, some of our offensive possessions weren't great, which enabled them to kind of cut the lead down to 16 or whatever it was. And there's a lot of time left, so that segment wasn't great. But overall, I thought our guys, you know, really concentrated and focused. They're a hard team to guard because at times they're small. They really run around a lot. They're good in transition. They get out and run. They slip out of screens. They try to create confusion. They're good driving the ball downhill. So there's a lot of things you have to cover and you have to deal with. So I mean, I didn't know we would win by this much, but you know, when you can get a chance to do that, I think it is always good. You know, it's always good. But you know, I give our guys credit that, you know, they came in and really concentrated because, like I said, I think it's a hard team to guard. Is
this a game like for DeMar? He didn't do a lot offensively. He didn't have to. Is this a game that could be good for rest for him since he's had played so many minutes?
Yeah, I mean, he reads the game tomorrow. You know, it's just you know, he got to some areas of the floor where, you know, they're his areas, and you know, sometimes the shots didn't really go down. But I thought he did a really good job facilitating, and kind of even a few times when we needed some momentum to stop for them and change momentum. You know, he got fouled, he got himself to the free throw line. Like, he manipulates the game in like these little subtle ways that, at the time, you know, or you look back on the game, but it's a big deal in the game where all of a sudden it's 16, and now all of a sudden he finds a way to get to the free throw line and take it to 18. You know, kind of breaks the momentum there. He was really good at that. But he facilitated really well. He found guys that made the game a lot easier. I think really supported Vio in terms of the way he was playing and giving him the space and the freedom to be aggressive. So you know, DeMar's like a total consummate team guy. He's invested a lot in those guys, and however the game's going, he's always going to try to look at, you know, how he's being guarded, how others are being guarded, and then how he can take advantage or play to what would be our strengths at that moment in time.
Did you go Because of them, did you go into the game with the idea that Vucevic and Drummond, would have such an advantage, because basically not playing anybody over 6'4" or something?
Yeah, I mean, well, what they had been doing is they've been playing Kuzma at the 5. They've been starting that way, and
You're not a center, though, right?
No. But to your point, though, but offensively, it's there's tougher matchups
Right.
on the other end of the floor, and I thought it was important that.
But did you feel you could take advantage?
I did. I mean, I felt. But you know what? Like with Vooch and Vooch is no, like he's really smart. I think when you come down and go direct post up, it's way too easy to guard. In terms of they're going to get it out of his hands, they're not going to let him play one-on-one down there. He's not going to back his way in and get to where he wants to get to. So he's got to get it out of like setting some screens, rolling into the pocket, or the ball gets thrown back out when he's rolled and now he's turned and sealing and you can find him inside. And I thought we talked about it that shoot around that the awareness of when the ball's coming out off of screening actions and those guys are
He
diving.
did seem particularly engaged, though.
Yeah, no, he was great. Like I thought he had a lot of stuff going today. He got it around the basket. We found him some. He got some pick and pops, made a 3. He had a variety of different ways he was scoring. And the thing about it, he would have had I think an even bigger scoring night. He had some chippies around the basket that he just didn't quite finish.
And he did the too small thing, too.
Well, I think that was probably because of the last thing that happened. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.